those strikes in Greece show just how tough the medicine will be for the Eurozone's sick economies to swallow. And if that's the case, what can the ECB really do to pull the PIGS, the pigs, up out of the mud? Well, joining us now is Bloomberg columnist Matthew Lynn, who says a crisis in the European Union is too good to waste. Now, Matthew, we also had some breaking news in the last 20 minutes. I just want to go through them very quickly. The finance minister of Germany saying he won't participate in speculation in Greece, so coming out of the meeting, he's decided not to talk about it. Now, I spoke to you around an hour ago, and you were telling me they may actually fudge the question of bailing out or not. Does this support what you're saying?
Well, they certainly may fudge it. I mean, this is the European Union. Fudges are what they do. It's always been a very complex organisation, and getting everybody onto the same page for anything is incredibly hard, and it's going to be very, very hard in this case. I mean, there are ways they can fudge it, and they've got a really serious problem because, of course, the Lisbon Treaty, Article 103, specifically says that there shouldn't be bailouts between member states, and that was always part of the original architecture of the euro. So, I mean, it was written down there in all the European law that they shouldn't do this. So it's going to be quite hard for them. There are other ways that they can do it. They can increase structural funds. They can have temporary loans towards the Greek government. They can fudge it. They can push it even further under the carpet. You get all this kind of funny business about what kind of collateral the ECB accepts as loans for the Greek banks. We really get into stuff. It's going to be very hard for anyone to follow the paper trail. So there are ways they can help out, which are more subtle and a bit less obvious than just saying, okay, here's a whole pile of money, or that we'll give you to help out the situation. And they may need to do that because they've not only got the legal problems they have to contend with, they've also got the problems of their own domestic electorate. It's not going to play great in Germany or France or Holland or Austria who says, your taxes are going to help out these people over here.
Now, Matthew, in your column you argue that actually this may be the right way to clinch and actually do a little bit possibly of spring cleaning in the European Union, making the Eurozone stronger. But we're seeing these markets so jittery. I mean, just by the fact that the finance minister didn't talk, credit default swaps in Greece dropped 31 basis points. Is it just going to plunge everything more into chaos?
Well, it already is in chaos. But I think what I was trying to talk about in that piece is part of the big problem here is just the lack of clarity. The thing, when the euro was set up, there were really two questions that were left unanswered: who pays and who's in charge. And the market hates it when those questions aren't answered. We don't know if there's going to be bailouts between member states. It says in the treaties that there shouldn't be, but no one really believes that when it comes to the crunch, that'll be the case. And we just don't know. And also, we just don't really know who's in charge. Are the Greeks going to set their own economic policies? Are the other highly indebted countries going to set their own economic policies, or is there going to be more direction for the centre? So these questions were just all left unanswered. And I think the one thing that the euro area policymakers can do in this crisis, because it's much easier to kind of push through change. You've got all this pressure when you're in the middle of this kind of turmoil, is actually get some clarity on those questions and say, okay, this is what happens. This is what the bailout conditions are. This is what kind of economic policies are imposed from the centre. And at least once you get clarity on those, then people can get back to trading the bonds in more normal conditions and providing finance in more normal conditions, where at least they know what the situation is. But at the moment, they don't really know the situation. Is there going to be a bailout? Is there not going to be a bailout? Do the rules allow it? Does the law allow it?
Yeah.
We don't know.
And
they don't know
we
either.
hope to know more tomorrow with the EU leaders.
Absolutely.
Matthew, thank you so much.